Up next, women's volleyball. Temasek Polytechnic played host to 8 other institutions in this volleyball competition, and playing at their home court seemed to spur the TP girls. They finished unbeaten in the group stage without conceding a set. In Group A, defending champions the National University of Singapore stated their intentions of retaining their crown. They topped the group with 4 wins out of 4, finishing 2 points ahead of Singapore Polytechnic. The semi-finals lineup saw NUS taking on SMU and TP taking on SP. First up, NUS versus SMU. SMU in blue were the first to get the point with their opening serve. NUS, however, quickly turned the tide and raced to a 4-1 lead. They continued to add to their tally, and when the first timeout was called, NUS were leading 8-2. The break rejuvenated SMU. They managed to close the gap on the defending champions. NUS, however, managed to hang on. They added 6 points of their own and restricted SMU to only a single point. 18-9, NUS led before another timeout was called. That did little to break their momentum. NUS continued from where they left off to clinch the first set 25-12 in 15 minutes. The second set started with SMU racing to a 2-0 score. NUS though fought back and managed to level things up at 3-3. Both teams then traded points with NUS edging ahead. But a mistake by Huang Ming Lee enabled SMU to score 3 straight points, making the score 10-14. The girls in red responded by scoring 6 straight points of their own, and good defensive play by Captain Bonnie Ip then ensured the points that they won the second set 25-12. A third set of match saw the teams trading points from the get-go. At 3-3, SMU took the lead. But NUS equalized to make it 7-7 before Chua Kai Lin gave them the lead. Despite SMU's gallant efforts, the defending champions held on, and Ivy Girl confirmed NUS's victory. The second semi-final saw the home team Temasek Polytechnic take on Singapore Polytechnic. TP were expected to continue their good form. Their opponents, however, had other ideas. Singapore Poly, facing camera, raced a quick 5-0 lead. Temasek, though, regrouped and fought their way back to level things at 7-all. SP regained the lead through Huang Mui Ting. They went on to add 2 more points to make it 10-8. And the seesaw battle between the teams continued as they exchanged points, with SP having the slight edge. They led 20-17 before a timeout was called. When the set resumed, Singapore Poly restricted TP to only a single point as they won the set 25-18. Stung at dropping their first set in the tournament, Temasek started the second by taking a 2-0 lead. SP maintained their composure and kept pace. With the score tied at 15-all, they made their move. Yu Ting gave them the lead and added another 4 points as Singapore Poly took a 23-19 lead. TP fought back to come within a point, but SP held on to win the set 23-25. With the momentum on their side, Singapore Polytechnic were looking to wrap up the game in the third set. They took the early lead and were never really threatened by a dejected TP side. Such were their dominance that at one stage they had 10-point lead over Team Temasek. The hosts, though, managed a mini comeback. They added 6 points to the score to delay SP's celebrations. Singapore Poly's Yu Ting, however, had other ideas. She scored 3 points as SP won the set. saw an upset in the second semis as Singapore Poly defeated Temasek 3-0. It's NUS vs Singapore Poly in the finals of the Women's Volleyball Championship. In an earlier meeting between the two, NUS had emerged victorious by 3-1, but buoyed by their semi-final victory, it was Singapore Poly in red and white who were the first with the points. They took a 3-0 lead before NUS leveled things up at 4-4. A good block by captain Bonnie Ip then allowed NUS to take the lead for the first time. It then led to an exchange of points between the two sides. Adelina Lam scored 2 points in quick succession as SP threatened to pull away. NUS countered with Bonnie leading the charge as the defending champs took a 17-12 lead at the timeout. Once the game resumed, NUS took full control. Good plays by Marina Ng and Cheryl Toh saw them take the first set 25-12. The second set started with NUS claiming the first points, but good defensive play from Singapore Poly saw them take a 3-1 lead. NUS fought back to level things at 6-6 and took the lead through Bonnie. A good block by her a couple of plays later made it 12-10. And her outstanding form continued as she got 2 successive points to make it 17-3 before a timeout was called. Upon resumption, mistakes by the SP team allowed NUS 3 easy points. Though Singapore Poly didn't give up, NUS were comfortably ahead and they wrapped up the set 25-16. Looking to wrap things up quickly, NUS pulled away in the third set for a 9-5 lead. Yu Ting, however, inspired Singapore Poly to score 3 points of their own as they closed the gap to 9-8. They threatened to even the scores, but 2 great spikes by Sandra Wong ensured that NUS stayed ahead. So a successful title defense for the National University of Singapore as they wrap the women's volleyball title for another year.
We were confident, but we weren't complacent because we also know that they were also capable. So we also trained hard. Like we had a training this afternoon before our game. Yeah, so we came well prepared also. We are very happy, and our team definitely deserves the title for the second year in a row.
Every IVP game witnessed its fair share of victory and defeat. But champions or not to these young athletes, it's never about the destination. It's always about the journey and the friendship they foster along the way in the true spirit of sportsmanship.